Here's the third part of the Genetic Apex EX Retrospective. We've already looked at Charizard and Pikachu packs, now we'll be looking at the EXs from the Mewtwo pack. First is Venusaur. I think this card wasn't considered great at release. Your HP is still unmatched, and the healing effect is actually quite powerful. The main problem with it, other than being a stage 2, is that it's extremely energy hungry, and the Bulbasaur and Ivysaur are too. This card has actually gotten a lot of help between Lily, Leaf Cape, and Rare Candy, but the problem of having to attach 4 energies is still a nuisance even with such cards as Leafeon and Superior, since then you're relying on multiple evolutionary lines to function. Additionally, while your damage is quite high, you don't want to KO a single EX card, so even once you set up, you often get attacked a lot more than other late game sweepers. The ramping effect is simply too slow and the payoff too mild, although it can work depending on your opponent's damage output. It's probably still not very playable. Articuno. As long as Misty exists, this card will be viable. There are basically no decks even today that can handle being pelted by 80 damage attacks on turn 1, especially since they now set up Cyrus. This card was already frequently slotted into water decks at release, but actually got immense help between Tools, Irida, Cyrus, and Mars, which actually allow it to work even without any other Pokemon supporting it. You'd think such a deck would be highly luck-based, but ironically it was actually one of the most consistent decks for a time due to reliably getting Articuno lead, which can tank a bit in the early game and had good access to healing. Oricorio naturally destroys this card, and the rise of high HP basics has been bad for it too. It's difficult to face off against the Giratina, which hits its 4 energy requirement before you hit your Blizzard, unless you get some early Misty flips of course. I expect this card is still playable. Gengar. The ability on this card is absolutely fantastic and has only gotten better since supporters have improved. It's really nice to play at, not having to worry about the possibility of Red, Giovanni, Sabrina, or Cyrus. The big weakness of this card, especially at release, is that it's a stage 2, meaning the opponent will often have played many of their relevant supporter cards before it even hits the field. Even with Rare Candy, you still need 3 energies to attack, and the ability only works in the active slot, so you might as well have a giant target on your head. Ironically, since the advent of Rare Candy, I actually feel like both non-EX Gengars are better than this one. Your damage just isn't great either. I don't feel like this card is any more playable now than it was at release. Mewtwo. This was one of the strongest EX cards for a very long time. 150 health is still quite insane for a basic, and your damage is really good too, even in the early game. This card would probably be non-functional if it wasn't for Gardevoir passing it energies, enabling you to rapidly set up, and eventually to spam side drive every single turn. This deck was immensely buffed by Rare Candy for Gardevoir, as well as tools and better psychic allies such as Mew, Tapu Lele, Giratina EX, and Oricorio Ghost. I think Mewtwo decks are still quite functional these days, but nowhere near as reliable and dominant as they were in the beginning, especially because Dark is actually a relevant type now. Early game Dark cards absolutely flatten Mewtwo decks, which usually have no good early game cards of their own. And finally, Marowak. This card actually sets up incredibly quickly, only being a stage 1 and only needing 2 energies to attack, meaning it can hit the field and start attacking before your opponent has had much time to evolve out of the 1-head's kill threshold. This card has 2 main issues I can see. First, Cubone is mediocre. Second, the damage randomization of this card is very frustrating. 1/4 of your Boomerangs will do nothing, and a lot of those will either result in you dying outright, or the opponent getting crucial damage on you needed to revenge kill you. When you get double heads it can be really good, but it's often overkill, so it's usually not as good compared to how bad it is to get double tails. This card has a miraculous ability to lose even 1 games. That all said, while not a particularly scary looking card, I ran a deck for ages featuring Pidgeot and Arbok that basically auto-lost to it, as Marowak could kill both Arbok and Pidgeotto from full health with 1-heads. Even today, I'm sure Type Null decks, which are very strong right now, would dread seeing this. I expect it's still playable, it's just the kind of card people hate to play and hate to face. That's all of them, thanks for watching everyone. I guess we can keep this series going, doing a retrospective of the 5 EXs for each pack, but I have to think about how much time I want to pass between each one.